Hello. Hello. To all gathered here today on this historic occasion, Danes and Americans, Rebild President Jorn Beck Madsen, and members of the Rebild National Park Society, Ambassador Leventhal and Sherry, and my esteemed colleagues sharing the stage and sharing their voices and talents with all of you today. Greetings and gratitude, or good day and tusen tak. I bring you greetings from the many Danish Americans living in Iowa, one of the states with the most residents of Danish heritage. Do we have some Iowans in the audience today? Yes, over here. Small but mighty, small but mighty. As the president and the first female leader of the sole remaining Danish-founded university in America, I also bring you greetings from Grandview University, a richly diverse community. Our students, faculty, staff, trustees, and alumni, many of whom are themselves Danish. And a special greeting to the 11 visitors who are traveling with me from the university to this year's Rebild Festival, including my dear husband, Jim. I also expressed gratitude for this occasion and opportunity to stand before you today. I am truly humbled. During my remarks today, I would like to share a bit with you about Grandview University, located in the heart of America, in the state of Iowa. From our Danish beginnings, to our current Danish seasonings, to our grand future, it is my hope you will leave here with an understanding of who we are, from whence we came, and where we are going. Grandview University was founded more than 128 years ago by Danish immigrants. The inspiration came from the Danish Lutheran Church in America to train ministers and other professionals, and to provide a place where Danish immigrant youth could go for higher education while still maintaining a connection to their Danish heritage. The alternative was to attend a public university where their heritage would be diluted and potentially lost. Although not a Danish folk school, Grandview is deeply rooted in the teachings of Danish theologian and educational theorist N.S.F. Grundtvig, who profoundly influenced Grandview despite never coming to America. His son Frederick, however, did come to America and eventually settled in our great state of Iowa, on the eastern border near the mighty Mississippi River. Beginning in 1883, Frederick Grundtvig was the pastor of the Danish Lutheran Church in Clinton, Iowa. A quick aside, since taking the helm as president of Grandview University 2 years ago, I have learned a great deal about Denmark and our Danish connection. Last summer, we had the good fortune to spend nearly 2 weeks here in Denmark, exploring your country, led by the remarkable Bruce Bro, president of the National Foundation for Danish America and the American vice president for the Rebild Society. Our goal was to reconnect with the university's Danish ties, establish new relationships, and explore global opportunities. Although your country is breathtakingly beautiful, the people are what made our trip absolutely remarkable. Yes. And just before that trip, I learned that I am more Danish than anything else. In researching my ancestry, I have uncovered ancestral roots from Sønderborg, Copenhagen, Odense, and even here in Aalborg. My 8th great-grandfather, Jorn Christensen, was baptized in Aalborg in 1633. to Frederick Grundtvig. I recently discovered that my fourth great-grandfather, Lorenz Nikolai Hansen, also lived in Clinton, Iowa at the same time Grundtvig was there, and we are pretty certain he was a member of Grundtvig's church. Unfortunately, that church burned in a fire about 15 years ago, and the records were all destroyed. But let's talk a little bit more about Grandview University. The college got its name from the site of its location within the Grandview Land Company. Danish pastor S.D. Rodholm, who eventually became the first graduate of Grandview's seminary, described Grandview upon his arrival in the middle of the night. When he awoke the next morning, this is what he shared. "I was up bright and early with a song. I looked out of my window to the south, and it was indeed a grand view. There were no trees to obstruct the view, and far off the golden dome of the state capitol arose above the trees of the next hill like a palace in an enchanted forest." Yes, our campus truly is that beautiful. Another beautiful Danish community you may have heard of is Solvang, California. Anyone from Solvang? Okay, no one this year, maybe next year. Solvang considers itself to be the Danish capital of America and is also a sister city to the city of Aalborg. You may not know there is a Grandview connection with Solvang. In 1910, Grandview's then president and first faculty member both resigned from Grandview and founded the colony of Solvang and built a folk school. I had the good fortune of visiting Solvang earlier this year and was warmly welcomed by local dignitaries and leaders, including descendants of Solvang's founders. Let's fast forward to 2009, 15 years ago, when Grandview was graced with a visit from then Crown Prince Frederick and then Crown Princess Mary, now King Frederick X and Queen Mary. You've heard of them, right? Okay, just want to make sure. Previously, Danish royalty had last visited Grandview in 1939 by the Danish Crown Prince Frederick IX. And we, of course, would love to host anyone from the royal family again at any time at Grandview. But back then in 2009, the Crown Prince and Princess were on an 8-day tour of the United States to grow and strengthen cultural and diplomatic ties between our two nations and to specifically learn about renewable energy. While on campus, the Crown Prince shared, "To me, this special relationship is but one example of the affinity that has always existed between America and Denmark." He continued, "You may not know this, but diplomatic relations between our two nations were established in 1791. And while the relationship between the United States and Denmark has always been good, it has never been stronger than today. And part of this is the key part, there might be a test on this later, and part of this is thanks to the foundation made here by Danish immigrants, Grandview University, Dana College, and the Danish Immigrant Museum in Elkhorn." Now, coincidentally, the Crown Prince gave this speech in a building on our campus called the Rasmussen Center, which is named after the Rasmussen family, many of whom are alumni of our college, and one of whom currently serves as the honorary consul to your kingdom of Denmark in the state of Iowa. Now, in addition to our Danish beginnings, our Danish roots are evident across campus today. Academically, Grandview offers nearly 40 undergraduate programs, 9 master's degrees, and we have a couple of doctorate degrees on the horizon. We currently provide options for international travel and study and are always looking for additional opportunities. This past summer, 13 of our social work faculty and students traveled here to Denmark to learn how Danes address social problems and respond to marginalized populations, and use that knowledge to develop ideas on how to influence stateside social programs and practices. So we're learning from you. Thank you. We have also hosted, thank you, sorry. We have also hosted hundreds of students from the Vila Business College over the past 20 plus years at Grandview. And while in Des Moines, the students visit classes and attend student events, give presentations about Denmark, and learn about American customs. And last year, they got to attend a football game, an American football game, and of course, we won. Go Vikings. Speaking of college athletics, we have 28 collegiate athletics programs, many of which are nationally ranked. Our men's wrestling program, for example, has won 12 of the last 13 national titles through the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. So hopefully we are making you proud as the Vikings in America. Yes. One of our star soccer players, that would be your version of football, Runa Peterson from here in Aalborg, graduated from Grandview University in May. Congratulations again, Runa, and his mother, Santa, is sitting here in the front row. As I mentioned, our teams are known as the Vikings, and our students can often be heard chanting "Skål" during the games without the akavit. Our new students also collectively recite the Viking Pledge their first year during our annual Skålfest, where many of our community volunteers serve Rebildfesten all day in the morning. They particularly like Rebildfesten with chocolate chips. Do you have those here? That's an American thing, sorry. Now, additionally, the Danish language permeates our campus, from the Luca Center to the Valhalla Room, and many of our annual traditions have a Danish flavor. GV Tak is our annual employee recognition event, and our Julefest concerts each December is our Christmas gift to the community from Grandview. We also have some Danish traditions on campus. Each homecoming, members of the Grandview community gather for the annual Drinks and Hymns event, wherein traditional Danish folk songs are interspersed with hymns made much more interesting because they're boisterously sung over mugs of drink. Much like we did at the Top Karen lunch earlier this week on the Rebild grounds. And each November, we welcome the local Danish brother and sisterhood organizations for a traditional Koldeborg dinner on campus to raise money for student scholarships. And this dinner is where I was first introduced to akavit, a truly unforgettable experience. Although some around me probably wish they could forget that night. Additionally, Danish imagery permeates our campus. The original building contains a stunning stained glass window from 1909 featuring a Danish landscape, a Danish church, and the Danish coat of arms. And in that same room hangs a replica of a ship similar to those hanging in churches throughout Denmark, representing prayers for safe passage and also serving as a reminder that God and the church are safe harbors in the storms of life. And Grandview's official university seal was modeled after the Danish coat of arms, reflecting our strong Danish heritage, which fuels the heart of Grandview. And finally, the university's priceless Danish archives, consisting of official documents and letters and photographs and newspapers and magazines and an impressive Grundtvig collection. Those archives provide researchers a glimpse into the lives of the Danish immigrant community and those who founded Grandview. I would like to end my remarks by talking just a bit about the future, and as we like to call it at Grandview, our grand future. We want to move beyond a mere tradition and connection to Denmark into deeper engagement and collaborative growth. With regard to cultural and citizen diplomacy, we are working with the Des Moines Sister City Commission and the City of Aalborg to obtain approval to seek a partnership with the City of Aalborg. I'm getting the nod from the mayor, so that's good. Concerning business and economic growth and collaboration, we are in early conversations with the state of Iowa to propose a sister state relationship between Denmark and our state-authorized international diplomacy organization. And additionally, we seek to share learnings and experiences with our Danish friends. Do you recall my earlier story regarding the 2009 visit from then Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary to the US to learn about renewable energy? Both of our countries have made enormous strides in this area, but I wanted to share some facts with you about the state of Iowa in particular. Now, we are well known for corn in Iowa, but you may not know that Iowa is a leader in harvesting the sun and the wind, ranking first in the United States for its share of electricity produced from wind, solar, and energy storage plants. We could use some wind energy collectors today, right? Yes. And we sell our energy to neighboring states, making renewable energy another cash crop for Iowans. We are a clean energy powerhouse, and we are committed to sustainability. Grandview University is in early stages to collaborate with Denmark to host an energy symposium in the future, including tours of Iowa's incredible wind and solar energy infrastructure. So stay tuned. We will be sure and invite you through the Rebuild newsletter. As we look to our grand future, Grandview University's mission remains our guide star, and it reads as follows. Grandview engages, equips, and empowers learners to explore their vocations, fulfill their potential, and serve the world. Enriched by its Danish Lutheran heritage, Grandview is a school for life. I often say that Grandview University is a school for life for your whole life, not only for the whole duration of your life, but also for all in your life that gives you life. Remind you a bit of Grundtvig? Now, today's celebration is at its core about both friendship and freedom. This remarkable international friendship that we celebrate between our two nations goes beyond formal diplomacy and into citizen diplomacy. And the freedom we celebrate is increasingly but more valuable in the current world in which we live. A vital component of freedom, in my opinion, is education. An educated and informed citizenry was not only central to Grundtvig's theology, but it is central to freedom as well. Education, no doubt, helped humankind put people on the moon and in space. But perhaps more importantly, in this age of AI and advanced technology, education helps humankind remain grounded, tethered, if you will, to what both makes us and keeps us uniquely human in a world ever increasingly filled with machines. I posit that we will need to strengthen our hold on humanity as we navigate into the future. Now, speaking of the future, if at any time any of you happen to, land in Iowa, I extend a warm invitation to you to visit our Danish gem shining in the heart of the United States. We would love, or elska, to roll out the Grandview red carpet for you. Now, before I close, if you can indulge me for a moment, Andreas Mogensen, would you mind coming up to the stage for just a second? Let's welcome him back to the stage. Andreas, it has been an honor to share the stage with you today, and I would like to present you, this is very formal and very exciting, a honorary Grandview Vikings piece of apparel, and we would like to suggest that you perhaps wear this next time you go to state. Let me close by saying, first of all, thank you, Andreas. And may God bless both America and Denmark and our remarkable friendship. Mange tak.